Well, welcome to 100% Wild, 100% Fair Chase.
You know, 10 years ago, whenever Mark and I started this particular series, we said, let's do something just a little bit different. Let's try and stack as much information into this video series as we possibly can. And we were going to do that really by the culmination of all of our mishaps, our miscues, and success stories.
Every deer hunter I know makes mistakes. It's human nature, right? Well, I think the most successful deer hunters that I know are the ones that make the fewest amount of mistakes. It's okay to make a mistake, but the key is avoiding that in the future. You've got to analyze each and every move that you make. If there's a day or a sitting where you don't see deer, it may have been a mistake that you don't know that you made. We've taken the last 9 installments to this series and we've picked them apart. We've come up with what we feel are the most hardcore elements to making you a better deer hunter.
And we hope by watching this series that you'll learn just a little bit of information, be able to put it into your arsenal, take it to the field, and bag that next big monster.
Ready or not, here comes Volume 10, 100% Wild, 100% Fair Chase.
Well, it's August 13th and we're spraying our food plots. We're excited. This is the time of year where we're getting stands ready, we're getting food plots ready, and we know hunting season is just around the corner. Here's this new seed coat from Delta Ag. We're going to apply it right here on this maximum, mix it up in the bag, and then plant this. We've got about 3 or 4 acre food plot. It's got to be all maximum. We've actually got these new Energizer Ultimate Lithium batteries. They will last almost an entire season. It's amazing. They will last 12 times longer in digital cameras. So, and I'm putting a 2 gig card in there. I can get about 6,000 or 7,000 pictures. One of my favorite things to do is go over to the cabin and spend time with my daughters, Jessica and Ellie. Aim at the top of the back this time. Gut shot them. There we go. Well, it's that time of year where I got to get Jesse ready for youth season, so we're going to do a little target practicing. Yo, you drilled it.
Wow, Jesse, you did really good.
Yay! What do you think of this shooting?
Cool, except it makes a loud sound.
Yeah.
I got my new PSE in the mail. It's a new PSE Omen. This thing is shooting about 330 feet per second.
Looks like I'm shooting a little bit low, so I will make an adjustment and go from there. Not bad.
I think I'm ready.
We're in Pike County, Illinois.
Well, we've gotten all the practice in for Jesse. Now it's October. We're ready to go for youth season.
Is that fun? Good job. Give me 5. All right.
Well, Jesse didn't get a deer this year, but just spending time together with your daughter is the most important thing to me. We're near the end of October and the pre-rut is just starting to kick in and I'm really excited. This is the time where it all starts to happen. Well, it's October 28th. I'm in a brand new stand. It's a real foggy morning. We got an east wind, perfect conditions for this location.
here and I said, I always see big bucks here during the rut. And he's dead over there about 75 yards, brother. We did it. Hey, buddy, I gotta call my wife. Hey, baby, I killed one. You getting the girls ready for school? Tell them I love them. I'll call you later and tell you all about it. You know what? I've been thinking about putting a stand here for about 5 years. I always see big bucks bedding right here, but I've never done it until this year. So I just got to learn something right there. Is always follow your instinct. Always follow your instincts. I just should have followed it a few years earlier. Probably would have killed a few more bucks. I can't wait to go take a look at them. Let's go.
Right there. They don't go far. Look at all those points on this side. That's cool. That's awesome. October 28th, Pike County, Illinois. The pre-rut stage is a beautiful time of year to hunt. This buck came in by himself, but you could tell he was looking for does. The Rage and the PSE did his job, and we did our job. Well, hey, we're in Pike County, end of October, shot a nice 4.5-year-old buck with my PSE in the fog. The Luminoc lit up on a 40-yard shot. I couldn't be happier. It's just a great ending to October. He tagged.
So we're hunting in Illinois with Tall Time Outfitters. Of course, I own Tall Time Outfitters, so that's where we're going to hunt when we're hunting in Illinois. Got Mike out that night. The weather was nice, beautiful. You know, first real good day after the weather broke.
Early October, cold front. Nice high pressure area come moved in after a bunch of low pressure rain last couple of days. So we're hoping these deer will be on the move, going to these oats and soybeans and biologic maximum. There again, I was in a stand about 100 yards from here last night, watching 3 really good bucks come right out of this trail right here. So we're hoping they'll do something close to what they did last night. Anything remotely close will be all right. Get a deer to stand where that squirrel is, it'd be a done deal. I've never shot better. I've never got better penetration. That coupled with the Rage broadheads, I mean, you can see the blood pouring out of him as he crossed the fence down here again. They just can't survive it. Like they say, a rage in the cage. Early October, Illinois, weather's nice and cold. It's perfect. Couldn't ask for a better evening, really.
We snuck out of the tree and went back and watched it on the big screen TV at the lodge there with the other guides, and they were convinced also that he was piled up fairly close. So we went out and tracked him up. Sure enough, he was about 40 yards behind a tree stand.
What do you think?
Breaks again. Good stuff, good stuff.
Yeah, boys, look at, it's got no eye on that side. Huh. Ain't that something?
Early season bow hunting in Greene County, Illinois with Tall Time Outfitters.
Nice mature deer come out, and we were able to put a good shot on him. Saw him actually the night before after the weather broke, come out with a couple other bucks, but he was the first one out, crossed in front of us at about 28 yards. Put a good shot on him. The rage cut a big hole in him, left a big blood trail. Couldn't be happier with the deer. He's got great brow tines, good mass, nice mature buck. Just a beautiful, beautiful animal. So it's still early October, and we're ready to get after a few more.
Heading over here to Town Hall Archery over here in Belleville, Illinois. They worked on my first Dream Season bow 2 years ago, and I tell you, they did an awesome job. Got my new Dream Season bow in. I am totally excited.
This year, Coon Dog and I decided to go with the Biologics Outfitters blend in our plots. You know, we like to get tucked back in these little CRP fields and put in the food plots, and we have good success on it because it keeps the deer away from the roads, and they don't have to come out too far from their safe area.
Your Unorthodox, baby. We just pulled the camera out of the hole down here in the timber. We had it set up at the edge of this field that we've planted. Let's see what this bad boy might produce here. Butt. Deer butt. Maximum and Unorthodox, baby. We're gonna see. Finally, we got the win. We get to hunt one of our food plots. Unbelievable. This particular food plot, we had trouble with it. We had to reseed it. We went back and we planted it with Green Patch Plus, and you ought to see it, boy. It's just as beautiful can be.
That's when a plan comes together, baby. We worked hard putting our biologic in, our Green Patch Plus. Our first food plot died because of a drought. We came back in, we worked hard. We put this plot in, and baby, this plan came together. You know, we enforce our policy on deer management, so we're not afraid to shoot does. So that's very important to take your does out. Green Patch Plus, baby, it's a magnet.
A deadly combination. We're off to the races. Our first deer of the season together. We couldn't be more excited. It's so perfect when a plan comes together. Little coffee. Terry'd be proud of me. As you can see, there's a lot of corn still standing. That's not good. Gonna make it a little tough. You know what they say though, when the tough gets going, the tough get going. I don't know how you say that anymore. Well, made it. As you can see, if this ain't deer weather, I don't know what is. I probably got 1,000 shirts over here. Why do I have so many? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. You never know. Hopefully we'll have a good year, you know.
Coon Dog called me while I was on the way up, told me somebody left me a sign up here, and the first thing entered my mind was maybe, you know, somebody left me a note on my door or whatever. It says, ha, 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 you can't kill me. I didn't have a clue what he was talking about until I got up here. This is how close the house is. I've got 2 apple trees in the corner of my yard. And look at the rub on this apple tree. Maybe tomorrow midday we're gonna go pull a couple of our Iconics cameras, and I'm gonna bring it around here and put it on this apple tree on these 2 scrapes, and we'll see if we can't get a picture of the man who done that. Go get in the tree and try to kill something. Breakfast of champions.
A little sneaky snack to hold us over till we get back for lunch. Little butter. I hope my doctor don't see this film. He's supposed to have all this stuff. But it's deer camp. What else you gonna do? Sit here, eat a little breakfast, watch a little TV, see how it's actually done. Anything you see, anything you like is for sale. Coon Dog's trading post. We got a particular deer we're after. He's called Fatty. But the more and more I looked at him yesterday when I was watching the tape, I went, that don't look like Keith Coon with horns. I'm going, holy cow, that is Keith. Anyway, he has a belly just like Keith, unbelievable or not. So if we happen to shoot him today, Keith, it's for you. I got your twin.
Well, you know I take my food very serious.
Can you tell?
Out there?
Huh?
We're ready. Well, it's 20 to 3. We just have a giant stepped out. I mean, he's a nice deer. Tonight we're gonna see if we can close the deal. Man. Come on.
I give up, man.
He's just standing there. Let me eat 30 yards. That's why we're natural born killers. That's why I wanted to. I could have killed her. It's November 19th, the day before Illinois gun season. It's kind of like the fourth quarter back in the day. It still is. Troy Boy was my good luck charm. I took to Iowa all the time. One year, Jake Wilson was going to get ready to go hunt. And I took my Troy Boy down, rubbed it on his bullet.
Oh, yeah. Troy Boy, 3 Super Bowls. This is when Aikman got knocked out when he got that concussion by the Washington Redskins.
So you put a piece of tape on his head.
Plus my dog chewed on it.
He killed a big old deer that night. I had it in my pocket when I shot my big deer up there in Iowa, so hopefully tonight. Put a little Troy Boy magic on it.
Pow! Woo!
We watched him come all the way from the backfield. Oh my God, I'm
deer wore me out. I mean, I've hunted hard for this deer. This is the last day before gun season. To be honest with you guys, I missed one last night. I'm not gonna fib, I did miss one last night. And as luck would have it, I brought little Troy boy. Everybody used to make fun of my little Dow, but look what happened. Troy was with me tonight, deer was down. My daughter Alicia sent me a message and she goes, sun's shining. About an hour and a half later, the sun came out. I texted her, I said, sun's out. She sent me one back and she goes, will you kill one, please? And Alicia, there you go, girl. Finally, that Coach purse you're not gonna get because Dad's putting his tag on his buck. Ha ha. Damn. Oh, and I dropped my bow on Joe. And I am just, oh man, Joe has got to see the real coon dog in action this year. I get so shook up and I get so spazzed out, man. If it's a turkey gobbling, if it's a buck, if it's a doe, I just get that feeling deep inside, and it's an emotional high for me. And I love it, man. I love it. And thanks to PSE and thanks to Rage, and especially thanks to Joe for sticking with me. And look what happened. Coon dog finally got a deer with his bow the day before gun season. Damn, baby. Pow, that's for you, Dave. Yeah. Is that the sound of death? Or is that the sound of happiness? I think it's a little bit of both, baby. Woo! We gotta get the old four-wheeler back here to get this puppy. Onward! Tomorrow's opening gun season for Illinois. It's basically my last day to hunt here in Illinois with my bow to try to harvest a buck. Joe and I have hunted all season. We've hunted like 20-something days straight, and it's getting down to the wire. Last night I hunted a blind. Tuesday night I hunted a blind. Third time's a charm. We went back to the well. These deer were filtering in from the timber, working their way out to the main bean field that's been cut, but as they're going, they're hitting the beans that are still standing in our field. So that made for a great opportunity for a lot of deer movement. Needless to say, this old bad boy come following the doe in. They fed their way up to the blind, and I was fortunate enough to make the shot. PSE did its job, Raids did its job, but old dog was off the mark a little bit, but the deer's down on the ground. Pow, baby, pow! Woo!
I can't imagine deer hunting without food plots. Two main types that we plant each year. Number one, the big fields, destination food sources. We want to have enough food in and around our hunting area so that when the spring green up hits, there's still food on the stalk or on the bean plant. Number two is the honey hole or the killing plot. It's that green field that you're going to go stick out there, hopefully close to a deer's bed, so you can take advantage of daylight activity. When I set out to plant a fall food plot, there are a few things that I look for. Number one, is this somewhere that I think I'm going to utilize a little bit more during the early season? Is it something that I'm going to potentially be hunting this during the rut, or is it going to be a late season attraction? If it's early season palatability, perhaps just off of a bean field where you've got some bucks coming out every evening, the thing that I look for is early germination, quick palatability. So I'm going to generally key in on oats, green patch plus, wheat, so that they come up quick and they're green when those beans are starting to go yellow. If I'm looking for more of a rut type of stand, that's when I'm going to key in on a product such as Maximum, something that when those first frosts hit in late October, early November, it breaks the plant down and the attraction is at its highest. If this is a food source that you're going to hunt more during the late season, that's when I'm going to get into the big brassicas, the turnips, winter wheat, those sources that can withstand all the cold, all the snows, and all the browse pressure, and then have deer in front of you come December. If you could have all of those in one blend, you might have the ultimate. That's why we came up with a product from Biologic called The Last Bite. There's a mixture of oats, wheat, clover, brassicas, turnips. At any given stage during the season, you've got palatability. And the most important thing about The Last Bite is you've got a field that's going to last you 12 months out of the year. The Last Bite, check it out this fall.
We're in a mad rush to get the seed in the ground. It's supposed to rain tonight and tomorrow. Hopefully beat it into the ground and to get that stuff coming up real young and green for the 1st of October, which is our opener for bow season. Good buddy of mine's already got it tilled up for me, waiting on me now. I ain't too late, about an hour and a half.
Listen to him all energetic and ready to, let's do this. I've been out here for 8 hours waiting on him, tilling it up.
He's lying. I was doing something. I was sitting in air conditioning.
There you go.
Trying to do a little homework here for the deer, give them an easy passage. We had one 100-year ice storm, and it's blocked all of the accesses to our food plots. The ice storm did a number on us. These are the old established trails here. We're just gonna see if we can make them survive a little bit longer. That's good. That's a good effect.
Well, here we go. It is production day. We are going to be putting together our new big game freestyle blind. Try to get Dad's butt out of the house, make him do something. So we're gonna try to put this blind together today because we gotta get it up. It's September the 12th, and October 1 is quickly approaching. So we gotta get this thing up. You can bow hunt out of it as well as gun hunt because it's got the vertical window. So we're gonna try to put it up before then so we can bow hunt out of it on rainy days or windy days or any day the wind's good for it. So. Did I do that right? Oh man, I put that in backwards. Always read to me. Freaking frog in here. Check this out. Whoa! Let's finish it up, move this sucker to the field, get it propped up, and just wait now. It's a waiting game.
Back in late June, the 1st of August, I started getting a bunch of pictures of deer. Well, the deer we started getting pictures of was a good-looking 10-point. He had real short G4s. His eye guards weren't real big, but he was super wide and real long tines. Hence the name, Skinny 10. But we never did get any more pictures of this deer. The Skinny 10 didn't show up. It seemed like once he got in the hardhorn, he was nowhere to be seen. But when November rolled around and it was time for vacation, I had about 6 days off to hunt. We're gonna see if we can get it done. Well, I have to admit, as these days wore on, I was getting pretty worried we wasn't seeing the mature deer that we should have. The rut was tough. The weather was hot, windy, and you put all those things together, the rut just basically shut down. It was getting pretty slim pickings, so I was getting pretty worried.
It's time to go. It's still hot. I don't know how hot it is this morning, but I know it's too warm to be November rut weather. It is November the 9th. It's Monday. I'm next to the last day of vacation. Been hot. Been windy the last 3 or 4 days. The deer just really haven't got out and moved real good.
Just now getting camera light. We've already had a lot of action. Hopefully it keeps up. November the 9th, baby. You gotta love it. You gotta love that sight right there. Them bucks cruising. That's what you like to see. It's hot today though. But other than that, the action looks like it's just as hot. So it's gonna be good. Nice little buck. Kind of caught us off guard. Watching these deer in the field, he come right under us. Nice deer. I'm gonna try rattling and growling a little bit. All the deer left the field just kind of went dead, so I'll try rattling. Giant coming around the cornfield. Won't come around the slope. Yeah. Lost him.
pressure. Go down. Go down. Go down. Oh God, I got me shaking. That's the skinny 10.
Okay, you're gonna fall out of the tree.
Dude, I just shot. That deer is a pig. That is a deer I've hunted for all summer. Dude, we got pictures of him. We saw him the other night. This girl, that's him. Oh my God, Dad. Okay. We did it. We freaking did it. Oh my God, did you have him good?
Oh yeah.
Oh God, Dad. Oh God, I did it. Oh my God.
I was pretty excited. The deer I'd obsessed over all summer long had finally met his match, baby. I sunk the rage into him. I watched him go crash, and I was super happy to know that I had got a deer that I had worked so hard to get, putting in the food plots and strategizing, and to get him on the ground.
This is Skinny 10. This is a deer that we've got over 150 trail cam pictures of. About 300 yards from here, we got him in velvet all summer long. And never saw him in hardhorn as far as pictures go, but I did catch a glimpse of him 2 days ago in this tree. Rattled him in, grunt and bleeded him. 2 minutes later, here he came on a string right to the base of the tree. Could not be happier. My wife, Rachel, she's probably sick and tired of hearing me talk about the Skinny 10. Thank you, Rachel, for giving me the chance to come out here and chase this guy. I know she's going to be happy for me. And thank you, Mom, Sandy, for letting Dad be able to go with me and film it. Now it's time to get him a deer. So thank you, Skinny 10. This closes the chapter on him. How you doing, bud? You doing all right, 10? Skinny 10.
Skinny 10? Give me 5. Give me 10.
Dang backseat drivers.
After knocking down Skinny 10, it was time to put the TC in Dad's hand and let him have his turn at hunting. He's ran the camera long enough. He wants to get in front of us this time.
Bow season, I didn't have any luck at all. Had one small encounter. I couldn't close a deal. So I was really looking forward to the firearm season.
I have Dad run down there in a bad boy. Check it, see where I hit. It's 100 yards. That's an easy shot for the TC. I got confidence in that baby. A thumbs up is always good. That's what you want to see. It's what you want to see right there. Big thumbs up rolling through there. A little bit high, just shade high.
Hair
That's
high.
where you want it, dude. 100 yards just a shade high.
The hair high.
We're gonna wrap it up. Today's Tuesday, gun season coming in Friday. We're trying to get everything sighted in, ready to go. Hopefully, it'll bark on a real specimen.
You ready?
Gun season, brother.
Gun season, first day. Right here, because we're gonna be big time today. Yes, sir. Boy, it is foggy. I mean, you couldn't even see the courthouse when I went to town. Get a fog bank come in on you. You're blind.
Right here, bud. Got a little bit right here in your patch.
Huh?
Got a little bit right here. Right here.
I can't see.
It's on your chin. Just wipe it.
Oh.
There you go.
That's what those are for. Those are for the grandchildren.
Yeah.
During the firearm season, seemed like we fought temperature from 30 degrees to 70 degrees, fog.
Felt bad for him. He was really going up against a lot of odds there. The deer were in lockdown, the temperatures were 70 degrees, 50s at night, not what you really want to get out there and see those mature bucks.
Let's get going. It's the second afternoon. Go back to the box blind. That's the place we had more activity.
We wasn't giving up. Still hanging in there. We're going after him.
All right, let's get to walking here. Pack our stuff in. Get set up. We got about 2.5 hours now before the sun starts breaking. Got a little breeze right now too. First time all day. You're underneath the woods. You're underneath the woods. It's all right yet. Yeah. He's gonna come out of the woods. I don't know if he's sure or not, Dad.
Well, first buck out of the gate was about 120-inch 8-point. Dad was really chomping out the bit to pull the old hammer back, but I wouldn't let him. I was calling him off because I knew we had all tons of pictures of deer in this area that were bigger than him, and I really didn't want him to take him, so I told him just hang in there.
And as I was getting ready to kind of scope him in, my son said, hold it, wait. Said, there's one at the edge.
One's already walked out with me too. That one is in the edge of the woods here. Walk out. His main beams touch each other. He's in the edge of the woods looking right at him. I want to get a clear shot. Down. Reload. Put your powder in first. Dude, he's a stud. We got trail cam pictures of him. He's scared me to death. Calm down, dude. You did it. We did it. The deer, we got trail pictures of that deer. You got it? Really? Yeah. That's not paparazzi? No, that's the one. His beams come together and touch in the front. He's awesome. I'm so lucky and so happy. But I want to keep this extra cap just to make sure. You know what I mean? You get one like this. This is the first. I never shot one. Was muzzleloader before. Yeah, it's your first muzzle. First TC. Track, yeah. Made her belch. Kaboom. Yeah, no. Isn't it unique? Look at this. Look at how the height. Look at this. That's my buddy, Mr. High Tire.
Buddy, I tell you what, it was exciting. I dropped it. It failed. I had to use a second shot to put fatality on him, but it was exciting.
Mr. Hightower, he's a deer with the super long G2s, G3s, main beams that come together and almost touch. And the pictures we got of this deer are right directly in front of the box blind. So pretty cool how it all came together.
Exciting year. He's a good one, and he's going to be on my wall. I'm very proud of this. It was an excellent hunt.
Well, we're just getting into the city of St. Louis here. It's Sunday morning, November 1st. Heading up to Illinois to do my first bow hunt of the year, and I'm pretty darn excited. Tell you what, this is one bridge I don't mind crossing. The bridge at Alton that goes from Missouri to Illinois. Because once we cross this bridge, I feel like I'm right at home. Well, the moment I've been waiting for practically a year now. Just pulling into the cabin here where we hunt in Illinois, and I tell you what, now's when you really start getting fired up.
Hang on, I'm getting there.
Well, don't get me excited and make me wait so long. That deer?
That deer.
I'll take him. You sure you don't want to hunt tonight?
No.
Because if I kill that deer, I'm not going to hear about it.
I'm going to hunt for the big boy.
Oh.
When we get a southeast wind back.
So I get your seconds is what you're saying. There's absolutely no better feeling than going in hunting for the first time of the year. Look at these deer tracks along this corn. I was getting shape, I'm sorry. No matter how excited you are, at the end of the day, you can't enjoy this if something major would happen. You gotta be safe.
What a gorgeous evening. High pressure, beautiful sunny evening. It could stand to be a little bit cooler, but you know what? It's that time of the year. Anything could be on its feet moving around, so I'm pretty excited because we've got a lot of good looking bucks on camera. We got numerous reconics photos of different deer, really big shooters on this farm, so I'm looking forward to starting my hunting season now.
It's not what I was expecting. It's November 1st. We haven't seen a deer yet. We're hunting over a beautiful biologic green patch plus field. Perfect wind. I thought we'd be covered up with deer right now. There's still time left, but it's not what I was hoping for. Really hurt. He just stopped. He's all hunched up and stuff. I'm just not real sure about where I hit him. There he goes. He's walking off a little bit. Boy, he's walking slow. I'm not even going to try to find my arrow. We're just going to go back and review the footage. Hey, Lon, they're back. Yeah, they're back.
Well, what's up, boys? Anything?
Where do you want me to start? And I shoot, but I couldn't see my arrow. So I have no clue if I hit him.
Well, you might have hit him good. Well, you just couldn't tell.
Well, the way he was hunching, though, we got to look. Oh. Hunting's like golf. You love it, but it gets frustrating sometimes.
That's because you're no good at golf.
That's because Hey!
Sorry.
Look at him!
Holy.
Look at the size of that deer.
Frank, he's a monster.
I know! And I'm fumbling, getting ready and all that stuff. And I tried stopping him. He stopped for a brief moment.
Oh, there's a shot.
He hit him right there.
I almost had to. Let's wait.
Yeah, there's no
I mean, it's
question
going to be
in
a
my
long,
mind.
rough night, but I would rather suffer tonight a little bit.
I think
than
we'll
bump
find him.
I
think he'll either go down that brushy point at the end of the cornfield, or if he may lay down right in that tall grass.
I hope so. Rod decided to go out hunting this morning before we could go look for this deer, so I'm just trying to keep busy. So we're just piddling around waiting for Rod to get back. We gotta get going, because I'm going crazy. Were you going to hunt all day?
I'm sorry. How'd you sleep last night?
Look at my eyes. I slept terrible. Well, here's where it all happened. He's right in here. Unless it's in him. Here it is. Oh, yeah. Dude, look at the blood. Might be liver. This makes me feel a little better. I knew the shot was back, but there is plenty of blood on that arrow. I say we start looking. I'm not seeing much blood yet. None, actually. God. Give me something. Here's blood. Oh, geez, here, look. Bunch of blood. It's all over in here. Look.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I'm feeling a little bit better about this. Oh, gosh. Tell me that's what I think it is over there. It is. It's right at the end of the corn there.
Oh, I see
Up
it.
on their heads.
I see it. All right.
Oh my I knew he was tall, but look at this. I mean, it was back.
Not that bad
But
at
it
all.
wasn't as bad as I was thinking it might be. Look at the size of this deer. Just like we thought, according to the pictures you had and stuff, his left side's definitely a little stronger than his right. Unbelievable, mature deer. Look at the size
Look
of
at the
this.
size of that animal.
What can I say? I love it when a plan comes together. We went to this particular spot last night. Jake's the one that called the shots, said I was up to bat, he was filming. Knew this big 10-point was living up there, had the perfect wind. Went up there, weren't seeing much, but I tell you what, lo and behold, right before dark, this big bad boy walked out behind us. I had to put a pretty quick shot on him, and I tell you what, after a long, agonizing night, it was all worth it, because I'm sitting behind the biggest deer of my life.
It's Tuesday the 10th. I don't know, it's supposed to get down like 36 tonight, something like that. We got an east breeze, a little shower last night or this morning there come through. I know we're gonna go get and stand and see what happens. Hopefully tonight's the night. Been kind of warm the last couple days. It's cooled down now though a little bit. It's supposed to get down like 36 tonight. We'll see what happens tonight. Shot right out of the top of his back, and beautiful, beautiful deer. Got him stopped up there. Limb was in the way. Hit my cam and stuff on that limb. Had to get down. I don't know. I'm trying to make excuses here why I missed, but maybe it was just me. I just might have missed, but hopefully this Saturday's rifle season, so maybe we'll get a chance at him with a rifle. From up there. Shoot. Man, tonight's been the night. November 10th. You gotta love November. Oh, man. We just got settled in tonight. Hadn't been here too long, actually. That deer went around us. Got back up around here trying to get downwind. All that took place, I mean, as downwind as you can possibly get. He done everything, read the script like he was supposed to. November 10th, baby. You gotta love November. There's that half. That's 2 broken arrows for this year. Shot a doe about a week and a half ago, something like that, that old doe management. She broke her arrow. We're gonna have to quit this. This is getting expensive. Right there he is. Well, here we are, November 10th. You know, we just love that 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th of November. Had a giant deer come out, missed it.
missed him at 23 yards. You know, I'm just one of them things. I don't know if the limb got in the way or what happened, but here come this deer out in the field. Had a beautiful 20-yard shot at him. Decided to take it. This is a 3.5-year-old deer, I'm sure. Got lots of reconics pictures of him and stuff. So anyhow, we're happy with this kind of deer. Like I said, we'll see what rifle season brings. Maybe I'll get a crack at that giant deer then.
Well, I didn't have that 10-point out of my mind, but I thought I'd try to change my luck and film my cousin during rifle season.
Here we are, second weekend of Missouri rifle season, Saturday, November 21st. First weekend was pretty good. We saw a lot of bucks, and a lot of them we'd seen on the Reconyx cameras, but we know we've seen a lot of bigger bucks on those Reconyx cameras as well. So hopefully, with the new blind we got set up, we'll have some better luck this weekend.
We're just gonna go in and see. With the old TC in his hands, hopefully we'll get something in.
That's a nice 2.5-year-old. That's gonna be a good one here after a while. We saw it early this morning when we were bowling in. It was back on the main road in here, coming out of the cornfield. And it's finally worked its way up, crossing over to where it's gonna bed down for the day. Hopefully, we can keep it around and let it get a couple years older. Shooter. There's a shooter coming up. He's coming back out. Chris has some Reconyx pictures of from early in the season. Actually had a shot with his bow and ended up missing. So when it came out, he knew it was a shooter. And that Thompson Center, it didn't miss. Dropped it right in the tracks.
And I knew I'd just taken the biggest deer of my life. We saw it coming through the timber chasing a doe, ran her out into the field, but turned right back around and went back into the timber. We thought we'd missed the shot. Lucky for us, chased her right back out into the field and gave us a nice shot opportunity.
Man, what a great buck.
Well, what a way to get things started. You know, all three of these hunts that you just saw with Keith Keene and Brick and Larry Stewart and Chris Comstock, these are Drury team members that have implemented the use of trail monitoring devices to help them go afield and harvest a big buck. Trail monitoring cameras have become a big, big part to everyone's arsenal when it comes to knowing what particular bucks are in your area, knowing where they're bedding, knowing where they're feeding, knowing what time of the day they're traveling, particularly trying to find out which ones are daylight walkers. They're such a nocturnal animal to begin with, so when you got one that you know is visiting and frequenting those cameras during daylight hours, utilize the information that you get and then try and implement it so that you can harvest that particular animal. That's exactly what these guys did. For example, in Keith Keene's hunt, they knew there was a giant in that area, and it was a deer that they targeted. And that's the key here. By taking that trail camera information, implementing it into your arsenal, the Reconyx are perfect for that. The time is right there on it. They're very, very flawless. These guys have taken that information and made it work to their advantage. You're not out there every day, you know, scuffling around, looking at rubs, looking at scrapes, looking at sign and depositing a whole bunch of scent. You go to your camera, you know the deer's in there, you waltz in there and you whack it.
Well, this year's Ohio season started off with a bang. You know, Ben killed a slammer first day of the season, 180 incher. It's a pretty good way to kick off Ohio deer season. Last week, October, me and Candace were heading to Hadley Creek. You know, we have a great time. We both killed 2 nice deer on film. She kills the biggest deer she probably ever killed in her life. You know, I killed a beautiful 10-pointer. After being back from Hadley Creek, I had to get to work. You know, after being gone a few days, you know, I'm self-employed. If I'm not working, I don't make no money, so. Take a day off work, but this time of year only comes around once a year. This is what we live for right here. November. I'm headed down to Ben's. I've always said you can't kill a big deer if you don't have one to kill. Right now this year on farms that I have to hunt, I don't have a big one. My chances of killing a big deer or something that I want to shoot are a heck of a lot better going out here to Wolf Creek. Ben's gonna hop in a tree with me tomorrow. Usually when me and Ben get in a tree, something bleeds.
Well, good morning. Today's November 4th. I'm down here at Wolf Creek, down here with Ben and Jared. What we're hunting this morning is just we're gonna be out on the backside of the bedding there and just working the wind. We're not expecting too much movement right out of the gate. A lot of deer are gonna be down in the food, so November 4th, it's rocking and rolling right now, just getting a tree. Just getting light enough here. Good light. Over under, as you can see, it's a real thick hillside. This is a nasty farm. There's no crops on this farm. There's some corn out across the road. I'm trying to catch these deer, come back in here. Probably gonna be a little bit before we see deer. We're just gonna sit there and see what happens.
Matt.
Me and Ben have sat in a tree together twice this year. We kill a 180 and we kill that. When me and Ben get together, something bleeds. That's what I'm talking about, November 4th. Our wind has been going like this all morning. I hit the horns once. We had a little spike come in here. He cut our track, he got downwind. Ben looks down at the bottom and all he can just see, he goes, there's a deer coming, it looks like a shooter. You know, we're just taking a good old time. I'm pulling the old. He's played the game before. He ain't playing it no more. Thanks, bud.
You're welcome, buddy.
Appreciate it.
This is unbelievable. This makes number 5 this week. We've killed 2 130s, a 154, a 163, and I'm guessing this deer is going to be somewhere, I don't know, 40s to 50s for sure. So we're doing good, knocking them down.
Well, you know, it was a short track job. We seen the deer go down. You know, we called Jared, you know, so Jared could get in on the action and, you know, help in the celebration. The more the merrier when you're celebrating the harvest of a deer.
They are hitting the dirt. This is unbelievable. The moon is right, that's all I know.
Well, what a fitting end to my Ohio season. It's just a good feeling to get back in the tree with Ben, and you know, we don't get to hang out as much as we used to. We live 2 hours apart, but now we got another memory to share for the rest of our lives. You know, and that's what hunting's all about, making memories and sharing memories and having a good time. And we're gonna have a good time for the rest of the day.
I will make a statement that a few years ago, I don't think I would have ever dreamed of making. The more that I hunt whitetails, the less I find myself calling to whitetails. But the higher my success ratio has become when I do call. And I believe it's probably the most successful tactic that you can have to get a buck within bow range of all the tactics that we're talking about within this particular series. Some of the things that I key in on when I decide to actually call, number 1, that deer's body posture. If he's in the right mood, you can call him, and if he's not, I immediately abandon that tactic and wait for another day. Don't burn too many chips. Try to avoid calling too much. If you're out there rattling, grunting, snorting, wheezing in the same tree every day for 2 or 3 weeks, you can definitely burn that spot out. Use the weather to your advantage. The more the deer are going to move that day, the better chance you have of calling a deer into your position. Another thing that I think hurts hunters' chances is calling when that deer's looking at you. I always want to keep curiosity on my side. When the deer's looking away and he can't exactly know where that call came from, that's when I choose to call. And finally, identify good calling locations. Not every setup is conducive to calling. The one thing that you can be sure of is when that deer does approach your stand, he's heading to the downwind side. If he's got a big area to catch that downwind, chances are he's going to be way out of bow range by the time he gets there. I call less, but my success ratio has soared the last few years.
Joe and I have our new toys. Big game tree stands, baby.
Tell me a better way to spend your birthday.
Oh, your birthday?
Yeah, man.
Oh, you didn't tell me that. Man, these 12 o'clocks come awful early. Time to get some coffee. And then I gotta do the important thing. I gotta go to the old website and check out the old weather channel and see what kind of weather Joe and I is gonna have this week. So there you go, baby. Our weather for the week. Anyway, I need to drink my coffee, head out, work the road a little bit, and hopefully I have a quiet night. Oh, man. Getting ready to go to the motel, make sure nobody's stealing anything. Oh my goodness. This has to be an omen for Joe and I. Is that not an omen for us? I mean, gee, Manelli, big game tree stands. Apparently he's a race car driver. Tonight we do have a big race here in town, so apparently he's a race car driver, and I guess he's sponsored by, well, I don't guess, I know he's sponsored by big game tree stands, just like Drury Outdoors. How cool is that? Unbelievable. Next stop, gas. After that, Illinois, baby. Pike County, here we come. Oh, are you gonna turn, for God's sakes? Hold it, hold it. You just go right ahead, lady. Now you stop. Come on. That's why some people shouldn't be allowed to drive. Oh gosh, what a beautiful day. Home sweet home, baby. Look out, baby. We're gonna be here for destruction. Yeah, baby. Pow, baby, pow. Woo!
Something made up at the beach, dog. Pam seen it and thought of you, and we forgot it the last trip. Coon dogs, Margaritaville, baby.
Oh, looky there. Oh, my goodness gracious. Forget that Drury Outdoors sticker.
Oh, mister. We just got a new call in the mail. It's a prototype. It just came in. It's called the Hopper Growl. We got about 5 calls in one here. Well, it's a pretty versatile call. I think it's going to be a good call. I'm looking forward to getting into the timber and giving it a try this evening. We've got a southeast wind, south-southeast, and we're going to go hunting behind the house here tonight. It's where we had one of our best settings all year. We seen 5 or 6 different shooters the other night, some big deer. But we had one do something that we wasn't expecting. Coon dog had a perfect shot out of the camera stand, and I didn't out of the hunter stand. So today we're going to do something that's unorthodox and out of the ordinary. I'm going to be hunting out of the camera stand, and Coon dog's going to be filming out of the hunter stand. We're like old Gomer Pyle, fool us once, shame on you, fool us twice, shame on me. So we're not going to let that happen again. So when you watch this hunt and you see a few different angles, don't think we're losing our ever-loving mind. There's a purpose behind it. I hope that's a good sign of things to come. During the last muzzleloader season, Evan and I were hunting a blind just up a fence row from here, and we seen a red cardinal. And I was telling him a little bit about his great-grandmother, Grandmother Dunn, which was my grandmother, how she said that every time you see a cardinal, it's going to bring you good luck. Sure enough, it did. Evan harvested the biggest deer he's ever killed in his life. It's a 150-something inch 10-pointer with his muzzleloader. And I hadn't seen Evan that happy since he was 6 or 7 years old at Christmas. Made my entire season. And we just spotted another cardinal. Hopefully, Mama's still with us today, and hopefully her story holds true, and it brings us good luck once again. So quick. I just barely had time to hang my call up. I didn't even have time to get my face mask up, and they had us pinned down. I couldn't move. I hope that's a good sign with this call of things to come, I'll tell you that. Man, finally, we have been so close. We have had encounter after encounter after encounter. Today
That's the same buck that I used that hypergrail with. Man, you talking about redemption on this hunt. He left, came back following a little doe. She came out in the field. It's too light for him. He didn't want to go out. Tried to circle back down. Give me a perfect 18-yard broadside shot. Man, I'm telling you, talking about relief. It's unreal. I'm feeling a lot better now. I knew I hit the deer, but we weren't for certain because those PSCs shoot so fast. So we went back to the house, we watched the footage. Yes. Hey, baby. Better shot than what I thought. It's a good hit. You can see the luminite illuminated. It tears the big rage, tears a hole through him. The blood was just pumping out of him. We give him 2 hours, we come back, the luminoc's still illuminated over here. I know it's dark. With the camera light, I don't know if it'll pick it up or not, but it's pretty cool. It's the first deer I've ever shot with one. That's what we want to see right there. That's what I'm talking about. Whew, man, I'll tell you what. Here in Illinois, you have to tag your animal before you move it. And since we just found him, I brought my tag with me, and he is tagged. Man, November the 5th, what a day. We've seen several deer in the field this evening. You know, we've had encounter after encounter, and it seemed like something's always went wrong. So today, finally, something went right. This big guy was following a doe up into the wheat field, and it was too light, so he didn't feel comfortable being that exposed. So he decided to come down the timber row, sent checking the field, and offered us a perfect 18-yard broadside shot. The Dream Season X-Force did its job, and what a way to fill your tag here in the Midwest.
Here we are, it's the second day of the second gun season here in Illinois. We've got a south-southwesty wind. Quad pod is a blind that we have. There's always deer in that field, so hope I get a buck today. Well, we're on our way to the blind. We come yesterday at 2 o'clock and they were already 2 deer in the field feeding, so we're just hoping we're not going to be busting any. And hope for good luck.
Well, after blowing the field of about 20 deer, every day we've tried to get back here in this blind a little earlier and a little earlier and a little earlier, and it don't do no good. This field has just been unbelievable this year, where it's just full of wheat and beans. These deer have just been flocking in here. So,
we're ready to go. I'd like to have that deer if it comes my way. He's on the move, he's on the move. Go down. Oh God, he went down. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I'm nervous. Oh, I was in a bad position. God, I'm froze to death. I got to have some heat. I just killed a 10-point buck.
He's got a kicker. He's not real wide, but he's massive. And I'm so happy. I can't stand it, Joe. I thank you so much. Oh my God. Man, it has been some day. This afternoon, this field was full, brother. I'm telling you, we watched this thing for a long time. And I just needed him to move a little bit farther and a little bit farther. But he done what he needed to do. Let's die. Dead deer down, baby. Pam's dead deer down. This afternoon, this deer came out. He bedded down over here. I didn't think he was ever gonna move. Finally, he got up and was moving. He came toward my way. Oh, what a mistake he made. I Thompson center, I put the crosshairs on his shoulder, let it go. Crashed and burned. 10-point buck, 2 kickers. We've got trail camera pictures of him, Joe said. So I know he's a 3.5-year-old deer. He's not the widest buck out here, but I sure cannot be any prouder than I am right now. And I'm just happy I've got me a 10-point buck. Down, brother.
Walking death and destruction herself. I did my part, load him up, let's go.
Yeah.
Joe and Pam Schultz are 2 of our favorite people, but you throw Coondog in the mix and you have a trifecta. These guys always try to keep it lighthearted, keep it entertaining. They're having a good time celebrating Joe's birthday over there, unbeknownst to Coondog, but they're doing it right. They're doing it by putting some tree stands together, making sure that it's done properly, making sure that all those bolts are tight and all the screws are done the way they should be. I wouldn't be afraid to sit in any of their tree stands if I could just get an invitation. Well, we found out a long time ago that it's easier to pick the tree and plant our food plots accordingly, whether it's a little hidey-hole plot back in the timber or whether it's a destination feed field. But we pick the tree first, we make sure that we know what wind direction we're gonna have, we make sure that we know what access we're gonna have to get to that particular spot, and then we'll plant maybe a stand of corn, followed up by some beans or some oats, or maybe even a biologic maximum patch, but we'll butt them up so that we create an inside corner, or we may do it with an outside corner. All of those elements enter into hanging a tree stand and picking a tree. And something that we probably don't elaborate on enough is tree stand safety. The proper harness, proper attire, getting into and out of a tree stand and making sure that you're comfortable, but you're always safe. That's utmost importance, first and foremost on the list, tree stand safety.
You've heard me say it for years, but I live for mornings like this. The moon is still up. We got 28, 29 degrees, high pressure system. Thermal's going straight up this morning. Today's the 3rd. It's Keith Coon's birthday. He just killed a 179 yesterday. Maybe we'll see a giant here this morning. Maybe we'll kill one.
nice deer. This is what we've been waiting on all year. Cold morning, deer in their feet. Yeah, baby. As a good dog would say, yeah, baby.
On November the 8th, it's 74, 75 degrees. Just no fun. You know, we talk about moon and we talk about falling barometers and rising barometers and weather fronts and low pressure, high pressure, blah, blah, blah. Well, it still is all dependent upon the temperatures. You know, if you get temperatures that are above normal, and we're setting record highs, you're just not going to see the parts of the rut that are typically exposed whenever you got cool temperatures. We're going to take our chances. You can't kill one unless you're in the timber. So that's what we're going to go do. We're going to go sit in the timber and hope for the best.
Red fox. There's a red fox coming this way.
Are we having fun yet? We're having a ball here at Lodge 25. He's the absolute best. This guy is crazier than a pet coon. Look at him.
Well, we've made it into our little humble abode here. We sat here, maybe a week or so ago, and had an encounter with a pretty nice deer, 145, 150 inch 9-point. Kind of wishing that he would have got within bow range now, because it's been really, really tough hunting since then. Now we've got some nice temperatures. You know, we got highs in the 50s, lows in the 30s, northeast wind. So we're really, really excited about this evening. Here's the situation. I'm sick and tired of sitting here not seeing anything. So I'm gonna do a little big buck medicine. We're gonna see what we can suck out of this stuff. This tree for me. I just couldn't shoot him. Thought he was quartering too. Here he goes up the hill. We'll see. We may get him back in. There he goes.
chest got through rattling. I picked up the bow immediately, because this time of year, you never know. It's November the 10th. Picked up the bow. We got a buck standing there 20 yards, literally 20 yards. And I think I got pictures of him. I believe him to be a 5.5-year-old deer. He's an 8-point. He's not going to score much, but he's fully mature.
You know what's going to happen after this?
What?
What's going to happen is, see, the green egg is going to see that I'm cooking, and they're actually going to want me to cook like a barbecue cook-off somewhere, like say Kansas City, Chicago, whatever.
What kind of temperature are you
Do
cooking?
you think after baseball, after I retire, do you think I could be on the Food Network?
I don't know why you couldn't, because I've eaten some of your stuff. It's phenomenal.
Pretty darn good. Matty, have some.
I've been. Here's the remnants of that turkey that Jim shot today. It's absolutely phenomenal. Not only is he a tremendous archer, but he's also one heck of a cook. We cleaned the turkey, marinated it, and then he cooked it in his egg out there. It's phenomenal, too.
Can you give me a gobble gobble? I'll tell you what, you are special.
Oh, well, yeah. Good morning. Here it is, November the 11th, and we are waiting for the rut to pop. We're sitting here in Illinois, been here for a couple weeks, and just have not seen what we think should be happening. Two elements are really working against us. Number one, the moon just came up about 3 hours ago, so it's dead wrong. Instead of setting, it's rising when we're going to a stand. And number two, there's literally thousands and thousands of acres of standing corn over here. They were late getting their corn in. They've been late getting their corn out because the moisture content is so high. A cold I've had for 3 or 4 weeks. There's just a lot of elements working against us. But you know what? We're just hard-headed enough, persistent enough, and determined enough that we're going to wear these deer out this morning. We're going to make it happen. We're going to get aggressive. We're going to pile in, mash in on them, and we're going to kill something if it don't kill me first.
Well, we made it in here without bumping a deer, which is unusual. There should be something up and moving, acting a little bit like rut activity. We haven't seen much of that, so maybe today will be the day. That's what we're hoping. Boy, that would be pretty if we can get a shooter to do that. Smoked him, but he's still on his feet, and he should have already fell over. And he backed just a hair, but not bad. Looked pretty good. We had these two little button bucks messing around here, so he was on their track. Could smell where they'd been, and he stood stood right here for the longest time, facing, looking right at, in our direction. And I wasn't about to come to full draw because he'd hung me out to dry. So I waited till he got behind that brush. And that's exactly what we set this up for. I just drilled him right here, 20 yards. I'm so fired up.
And now just admiring this wonderful rack with all the stickers and kickers, and he just got a lot of character. A little Fark on his G2 there. I'm tickled to death. Couldn't happen any better. November the 11th, we knew it happened. It's been a long, arduous season, but we got her done.
Deer don't move generally unless there is a very good reason. More often than not, during the daylight when we're out there hunting, they're in their beds. Always remember that the evening time to them is actually their morning. During the month of October, we seldom hunt mornings. Yes, you can go out and be successful, but I try to minimize my intrusion into the spot. I don't want to burn my spots out, so I wait till I start to see more and more activity in the mornings. It's generally somewhere around the 28th or the 30th of October, all the way into November. It can happen anywhere in there where all of a sudden the morning movement just gets incredible and evening starts to slow down. What's happened is there's finally estrus in the air, and those bucks are checking all those doe trails as those does leave the feed source, head to the bed. That's why that morning kicks in. That, by my definition, is the seeking phase of the pre-rut. It's probably the best time to be out there in a stand, and you have to really look for it. Look for that switch to flip, then go in there and try and capitalize on it. Morning versus evening, critical time.
Well, I've always had a dream of having a cabin someday, and unfortunately, with my lifestyle here as a farmer and a produce farmer, I'm never able to get away in the summer. So for the last several years, I've had the idea of building a cabin here on the farm. The whole dream was kind of coming together here. I was just waiting for an opportunity to hang the first trophy buck on the game pole. Well, here in Wisconsin, we have to earn our buck tag, so for every doe you shoot, you get a buck tag.
Just earned my buck tag. Big old another doe coming in here.
Well, we had two quick, easy tracking jobs. They only went about 40 yards. Earned my 2 buck tags this morning, so we're good for the season. I was ready to go buck hunting. And I had a couple big bucks on my mind. The big 9-pointer I'd passed the year before he was alive and well, and I was getting some great reconics pictures of him. Well, on the morning of November 20th, Eric and I were heading to the corner oak. We had to do a lot of work to this stand. About 20 trees had to be cut down to clear out a big shooting lane, and couldn't wait to get in the corner oak.
used to be a giant. He used to have about 7-inch bases. Jacob had a shot at him last year. It was pretty cool. That other buck behind him. Beautiful buck, but that's just not the buck I want yet. Beautiful, beautiful encounter there. Me. Oh man. I put a rage in the big one. Hit him a little bit far back. What a monster. Wide dog. I'm gonna climb down and go have some breakfast, give that buck some time. We reviewed the footage at the house, and he's a dead deer. I'm just going in to get him.
What a hog.
Congratulations, Joe. I have all kinds of reconic pictures of this buck, and boy, I really had my eyes set on getting this guy, and it just came together finally. Well, it's November 20th today, and it's been a really slow season for Eric and I because there's thousands of acres of corn still standing in the area. Well, now finally we got the combines working in the area, and the moon phase is right, and the temperatures are a little lower. Best day of the season we've had today. He didn't go far, and I tell you what, in order to get a buck like this, you got to pass on those 135s. Man, he's got it all going on. Heavy mass, and length, and width. Just a beautiful, beautiful buck. Well, I was pretty pumped up about that. 162 incher, awesome buck. The next day was opening day of gun hunting. I was going to be hunting with my son, and Eric Grover was going to be hunting with his son. Well, I got a text from Eric from his tree that he had a big buck down hunting with his son Kyle. Well, back at camp that night, we had 2 bucks on the game pole. The camaraderie at the cabin was awesome. You know, it was everything I had dreamt of.
What a tremendous story with Joe Eichster and family building the cabin there. You know, I thought that was outstanding. And he also did his earn a buck. He harvested 2 does to make sure that he got his buck tag. Now, I wouldn't be opposed to see a few more states implement the earn a buck program, particularly where the deer numbers or the deer density is extremely high. You know, there are so many people that are managing their whitetail herds today, really in small pockets, in small groups. And it's about harvesting does, and it's about studying the deer, studying body posture, studying muscle tone, looking at the sway in the back or maybe the sway in that belly, looking at the neck, how the neck goes down and meets the brisket. All of those elements will help you or aid you in trying to identify the age class of that particular animal. And it's about passing 1.5 years, 2.5 years, and 3.5 years, allowing them to mature. Because when you pass them at age 3.5 and they make it to 4, 5, and 6, boy, the odds of seeing that deer again go way down. But when you do, when you're smart enough to outfox him and then take that animal, it's a rush like no other. And I know that if you collectively can get together as a group and you want to do the upper end management, try and do it on good terms. Make sure that everybody's on the same page, but make sure that everybody's practicing what they preach.
Had a lot of food plots this year. A lot of beans, a lot of corn. We put in a couple of fields of alfalfa. The deer, boy, they really hit that come fall. Last evening, I was able to harvest Space Boy, a 6.5-year-old deer that we know real well on our farm. I was really glad to be able to put my tag on him because I'd been holding that tag since the early part of November. After I shot Space Boy, I had a late muzzleloader season tag in my pocket, and we go hop right back up in a stand. Well, it's early January. We're in southern Iowa. We're sitting in a box right here that I really love, especially this time of year. I got corn and beans both to the north of us. We got a good northwest wind. This is the same box I killed my 203, and then last year Jacqueline killed her 169 out of, and we're hoping this afternoon, Lord willing, that maybe one of them will give us a shot. I got my muzzleloader tag in my pocket. I got food on the ground. It ought to be on. We were sitting in the blind, and the deer, they were just pouring into the field, coming out of the timber in all directions. I look across the field, and here comes 2 good bucks. I see a deer come out, it's kind of familiar, and I look behind him, and there's a wide 10. And I'm thinking, boy, that deer looks familiar, but I just couldn't seem to place him. And the more I watched him, I just couldn't put it together. And Jeff had a couple of Reconyx pictures of him.
Yeah, that's that Big 10. Yeah.
We've been at it, boy. It's been cold, it's still cold. We're pumped, man. We're pumped on this deal. We cleared the field. We probably had about 30 does out here. We've been counting them. We let him get as close as we felt like we could get him. He's fixing to go in that corn when I shot him. I was afraid he wasn't gonna turn back that little bit, you know. He's laying down dead in the corn. Yes, thank you, Lord.
Yesterday afternoon, I shot Space Boy with my bow. And now here I am going back the next day with my late season muzzleloader tag. I mean, what's the chances of killing 2 deer in 2 days when you've hunted for 2 months? Our Thompson Center did the job again. Nice mature Iowa whitetail. Come across the bean field, come up into the corn, give me a good shot. I took it.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind whenever I see a hunt there in southern Iowa is having the perfect hunting spot. You know, and we've talked years ago about spot on, either find a better spot or make your spot better. Well, without question, Mr. David Lindsay is hunting in one of the best spots in the country there in southern Iowa. But he's not afraid to try and make his spot better. Planting corn and beans and maximum biologic, all of the elements that enter into improving your spot. If you're willing to spend the time and maybe a little bit of money to improve the spot, it's about planting those food plots in hidey holes or planting destination feed fields. It's about having the right access. It's about creating cover for those whitetails. And he's willing to do all of that. So not only does he have a good spot, but he's making his spot better.
All right, well, here we go. This year's gonna be a little bit unique for me. I'm taking my father-in-law, Rick Ralston, on a deer hunt in God's country, and we're hunting those big, giant Iowa whitetails. I'm a whitetail enthusiast. Yes, he's a whitetail deer hunter, but first and foremost, he's a car enthusiast, a car aficionado. We're gonna melt those two hobbies together. I'm gonna learn a little bit about cars and being a car perfectionist. He's gonna learn a lot about whitetail deer hunting, Iowa style, Jared Lurk style. Come with us, it should be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to it. All right, opening evening, December the 12th, fresh foot of snow on the ground, standing bean field. We're going to my favorite spot. Hopefully, tonight's the night. Bam, big shooter shows up. Deer I know all too well. High 50s, 10-point, lots of trail monitoring photos from this deer in velvet and in hardhorn on scrapes. Too far. He's not at that 150-yard marker in. We're gonna do the right thing here. We're not gonna push it. We're gonna elect to pass. The winds are switching out of the north. This spot is only built for a south wind. We can't go back to that spot. The 13th, 14th, December 15th, still northwest winds, bitter cold temperatures. And then finally, the 16th, the forecast we're looking for. I know right where we're going, back to the spot after the Big Ten we saw 4 nights ago.
December 16th, Iowa, second shotgun. We're back in the box blind where we started 5 days ago and saw that Big Ten. We're hoping he comes out tonight in the beans. Got father-in-law Rick Ralston, Dad John, Lucky Charm with us tonight. Fingers crossed, hoping for a good evening. What else you got to add to that?
Well, you took my line away. I was going to use John as the Lucky Charm.
Okay.
But,
Tonight's the night. Okay, tonight's the night. We'll see. Fingers crossed, hoping for the best. I don't guess we're gonna go after him tonight, are we? Maybe in a couple years we will.
There are deer entering from every single point. There's just so many deer on the field. We're looking in every different direction, and then bam, there the Big Ten is, and he's already in range. the deer goes down, I immediately stop thinking about the footage, help Rick get the gun reloaded, just in case this deer gets up again. Thankfully, the deer doesn't get back up. We go investigate. He's down for the count. Lethal shot, giant Iowa 10 on the ground. Well, here we sit. Grandpa Lurk and Grandpa Ralston, father-in-law and my dad. Grandpa's to my beautiful little girl, Eloise. And we got Rick on his first big Iowa whitetail, second season Iowa shotgun. And the three of us were enjoying this hobby that we all enjoy a whole bunch.
First night of the season, we had this deer come in, a little over 200 yards. That was too far to shoot. He slowly came at us until about 5 o'clock, and he was down to about 170 yards. So we just decided to pass and try again another time. Just didn't realize it was going to be 4 days later before he showed up again, but we got him into about 150 yards, and he was able to get him down.
Great week in Iowa. We killed a magnificent Iowa 10-point. We saw a lot of deer, passed the time by talking about great, fast American cars. You've got to love it. Puts a big smile on this hunter's face to succeed with my father-in-law here in Iowa.
We're back in the saddle. We're gonna go bow hunting. It's after gun season. I haven't really sat with a bow in my hand since Halloween, and so it's been a month since I've had a bow in my hand. We're gonna go out and hunt during the doe season here in Missouri, see if we can't find that second Missouri buck and have some fun.
Every deer he followed up that bottom has already gone through at 20. I'm waiting to give me a broadside to quartering away. He turns around and leaves. I don't even believe that. I don't believe it.
Whitetail season, as it pertains to their movement, they go through phases. You know, it's all about food source early, then the rut movement comes, and then we're always trying to figure out when that switch is flipped from post-rut back to December feeding or late season feeding. And I always try to look for an observation stand where I can find out whether there's still rut activity going on or whether they're back on those beans and on those food plots heavy.
Fun stuff. Got the Nikon spotter out, trying to find a particular deer. I've got pictures of that deer this summer. I've got him in October. I haven't checked that camera in quite a while, but there's a really, really big deer in here that I got in October that Jared had an encounter with, and I'm hoping to lay eyes on him.
You know, you get into this late season and you can't bank on it, but you can kind of count on the fact that if you had a certain buck on a bean field in velvet and those beans are still standing, there's a good chance in December, January he'll come back to it. The reason he was there in August and September is because he's been there, living there, and they'll come back to that security cover in that general area that in December, January, back for that food source. That's why those bean fields are so magical this time of year.
Wow. That is a giant. I mean a giant, giant monster. That's the deer I was looking for. Wow, he's bigger in person than he is on the camera. Holy cow, that is a giant monster Iowa buck. Makes me nervous just looking at him. Whew, that's exciting right there.
If we could make a play on this buck, he is the buck we want to go after this late season. Can he come out in daylight? Will we get a shot? All those things start going through your mind. We're going to continue to scout this area and see if we can get an eyeball on him just a few more times. You know, we plant these food plots each year in May in hopes that you're going to get 10, 12 inches of snow. Well, baby, the forecast is right. I'm buying that second season tag because we've got a snowstorm coming, and I mean, it's the mother of all snowstorms.
The wind chills are now running 10 to 15 below zero, so you got to layer up. Still more snow with the cold temperatures back through the upper Midwest and in through the Great Lakes. forecasting a low tomorrow morning in Des Moines around 5 to 7 below zero.
Well, those storms are going to move out through the day today, but the one thing that's going to remain for us is certainly going to be that snow.
Cover up all that green and all that browse with this snow. That's when them bean plots get really, really interesting. Becomes the #1 food source when everything else is covered up. Okay, Midwest gets pounded with snow. We're still a few days away from second gun season. Front blows through. I gotta go see if that big boy's showing up. I'm going back out. I want some more MRI, most recent information. Not to disappoint, out walks this giant. He doesn't exactly come out where I wanted him to, but he's still in the area. He put on the show of all shows. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was watching as I looked through that Nikon spotter. I mean, he's out there digging through the snow, trying to get down to this pasture. No doubt he's trying to get down to the clover. And I'm just sitting there thinking, man alive, can this really be happening? Can I really be putting an eyeball on a mid-90s buck during daylight?
That is awesome. It is freezing out here, but that just warmed me up right there. It shows you how green is so important to these whitetails. He's out there just digging through the snow to get down to whatever green clover or green browse he can get to. How cool is that? As far as spotting scope footage goes, that's about the best I've ever laid down. That's cool, man. Even if we don't kill him, that right there was worth the price of admission.
How often do you get a buck, 190 class deer, 18, 19 points, walking out there during daylight? I mean, it almost seemed too good to be true. Second season shotgun has arrived in Iowa. But instead of a shotgun, we're gonna upgrade TC Pro Hunter. You might as well be shooting a centerfire rifle with these things, literally. I don't know that the conditions can get too much better. Today's in the 30s. Got a windy south. We've got probably a foot of snow that's covering everything. And obviously all the natural browse that they normally feed on is covered up. It puts them on those bean fields earlier because they're bedded closer. Hopefully we can lay eyes on that deer. The 2 or 3 different times I've seen him now. I got some great footage of him before it snowed. I went out last night. He came out a little different than where I wanted him to, but I'm gonna go back to the original spot where I've gotten all the pictures of him. And we'll see how the movement is tonight. We got a 9-day stretch in front of us. Tonight is night #1. See what happens. Notice I didn't mention any mornings.
Good start. Always nice to see a wide deer. Deer's starting to pile in now. It's probably about, I don't know, 3:45 or so. Opening evening. You gotta love this snowfall because they just show up so much better. It's probably the equivalent of what we look like to them when we're normally walking through the woods. The snow evens the odds a little bit as far as seeing them. What an 8-point. Holy cow.
All right, season starts. 3 nice bucks. Not the ones we're looking for, but nonetheless, great start. December 13, December 14, they are piling into the food source. We're seeing giant bucks, but I got 1 buck on my mind, and I'm just not seeing the bucks that I'm looking for this late season. I cannot get that giant off my mind. I feel like I weigh 20 pounds more. 6 layers, 9 layers by the time I'm done, plus 2 heaters, and we're still gonna get cold. It's 7 or 8 degrees out there. We're going back in after that big non-typical, and he's bedded over there around that field. I think he'll come out tonight. So barring any trucks, dogs, hunters from neighboring property, or silly does that clear the field, we might be in the game. We'll find out. The last thing you want to do when you're going into a stand is run deer out of the field. There's 30 or 40 deer filing out of there on our way in. What do? You're here, set up, sit down, cross those fingers. It's so cold, man, we are freezing.
I'm having trouble with my glasses, folks. I bought this stupid tube. It sounds like I'm on a sleep apnea machine. That ain't working. 3 steps out, I'm hyperventilating. Good start. start. It's early. We've got 3 cameras rolling. This main one with a 20 power zoom lens. This smaller Sony with a 12. We've got a remote camera outside the blind, facing back. If he comes out, it'll be well recorded.
We set up even after dominoing this field back, and they start piling out. I mean, the weather is perfect. The food source is right. Maybe tonight will be the night. Finally, we look up. Tonight is the night. This buck steps out at 160, so he's already within range of the Endeavor, but I want the right angle. From the time he steps out, he slowly but surely is on a line straight at us. Now, the big worry is don't clear this field. We've got so many deer out there, but he's the target animal. We just gotta get that angle right. We've been watching this deer for 45 minutes. We are freezing our tail off. The adrenaline is through the roof of the blind, and suddenly the field starts to clear. It's now or never, time for the shot.
Did it hit him? It should have. I was right on him. Man, I was dead on him. I hope I didn't blow it. I don't think I did. My sight picture was good. And this gun is deadly accurate. He acted like I missed him when he ran off, so to be honest with you. But I don't see how I could have. 2 cameras, 3 cameras. Hopefully, one of these 2 got that. We'll go review the footage.
We need to go watch this on a TV. I am not overly confident about where I hit this deer. All right, here's the story. We had a good evening tonight, or maybe a bad evening, but Rick and Julie went out and they shot at a buck that's a mainframe 5x5 out of one of Kenneth Davis's high-rise hunters. That was the buck I called 11 because his tines make the number 11 on both sides. And I shot at the buck that I was after. Julie shot at him, I shot at mine, and we think we missed them both. So now we're gonna look at them and find out whether we're heroes or zeros.
Oh, no! Mark, that's up front.
That's nothing. It's low.
I don't know, man. I think you shot the bottom of his heart out right there. I think you killed him, Mark.
I don't think I got him. I don't think I got him. And we went back and forth, watched it over and over. My 2-4 right, is his body the correct angle? Did I get through those vitals? One thing about it, with that snow, we're gonna know pretty quick in the morning. It's the next morning, it's 9 degrees. And the good thing about snow is it sure makes it easy to track. I'm on blood already, so my fingers are crossed. I feel better than I did. I had a long night last night. Look at this. I mean, there's blood everywhere. This snow makes it so awesome. It's always a dream to track one in the snow. The more I track, the happier I'm becoming. There is blood everywhere. I mean, everywhere. The blood is absolutely profuse. Look at this. He cannot be far. There he is. He's down right there. Yeah! Unbelievable experience, the highs and lows of deer hunting. And I could not be happier to find this big guy. I'm gonna get him tagged, and then we'll talk about it. We have a wonderful story and a wonderful history with this buck. Pictures of him last year. Big fat boy, I call him, because his body was cow-like. This year, same body, but he spit tines out everywhere. 18-point buck. He's a mainframe 6x6, if you will, and he's got 6 kickers. Huge body, clearly fully mature. You could tell that when you see him. He's got to be 6 or 7. We scouted him in this area. I saw him on this bean field probably 10 days ago. Then the weather conditions from heaven came in, and the night before the season, put a scope on him again, and I felt like last night would be the night, and indeed it was. From the time we saw him till the time we shot him was probably 45 minutes. Awesome, awesome deer. Woo, happy days, happy, happy days. It's hunts like that one, sharing it with Rick and Julie and with Joe in the blind that night. That big guy there, he's one of the biggest reasons I can think of why this season was a season to remember. Unbelievable.
You know, you can really analyze deer movement in several different forms or fashions. And we do that a lot with the Reconyx cameras, trying to figure out where they're bedding and where they're going to feed, or maybe it's an activity or a scrape line or some rub lines. But in addition to that, that food source becomes so crucial and so important late season, when you've got fast approaching fronts or you know you've got a major storm coming in, all of a sudden you can study that deer movement from afar, just like Brother Mark did, and say, hey, where are they going to be at? Where is that crucial food source, that bean field or that cut corn field or maybe a big vast biologic maximum field? All of those destination feed fields become vitally important. He knew that the first time that front approached and there was a really, really major one coming, that he was going to see those particular deer on a bean field, and whether the front's moving in or pushing out, it has the same effect. A lot of times after that front pushes out and you get a high pressure system, sometimes you can be more effective then. But the fact is he was able to do it. He mashed in on him and did the job. Harvested a huge deer, 190s plus animal. I couldn't have been happier for him.
There's not a magical solution to going out and killing a white-tailed deer. It's a combination of so many elements for you to go out and consistently have success. We've touched on some of the high points here. You heard about it within the confines of the hunt. You also heard about it in the interviews. The funnest part is going out and experiencing it on your own, out there in the whitetail woods. They're the best teachers. Anytime that we go afield, we pay close attention to every single thing that a white-tailed deer does. We try to analyze why they did it. One of the best tools you can have, Reconyx cameras, all those pictures. Look at the temperature, the moon phase, whether it's a daylight or nighttime photo. Utilize that information and then try to capitalize on it the next time you go afield.
Well, that's a wrap for Volume 10.
100% wild, 100% fair chase.
We hope you took something from it, and we hope you bagged that next big monster.
As we always say, thank you for watching our production. It was created for you.